Welcome back to Will Rev, the channel where we dive deep into the most exciting motorcycles hitting the streets and trails. Today, we've got something truly special to talk about, a machine that carries the weight of history while delivering modern performance. Royal Enfield S 2026 Flying Flea C6. This isn't just another bike in the lineup, it's a bold reimagination of an iconic wartime motorcycle, reborn for riders who want both nostalgia and cutting-edge engineering. Let's dive into what makes this bike a conversation starter on every level. The name Flying Flea may ring a bell for those who know their motorcycle history. The original was a lightweight Royal Enfield built during the Second World War, designed to be dropped by parachute with troops and used for rapid deployment in tough environments. Fast forward to 2026, and Royal Enfield has decided to channel that spirit of rugged simplicity into a modern scrambler-style machine. The Flying Flea C6 captures that essence: lightweight, agile, versatile, but translates it into something perfect for today's riders who demand style, performance, and tech. The first thing you notice when you walk up to the Flying Flea C6 is its design. Royal Enfield has absolutely nailed the retro-modern blend here. It has that stripped-down utilitarian stance, with a muscular tank that carries subtle war-era cues, a ribbed seat that screams vintage endurance, and a raised high-mount exhaust that's both functional and striking. The frame is exposed enough to give it a raw mechanical look, but it's balanced with sleek LED lighting, modern instrumentation, and clean detailing. The color schemes lean heavily on military-inspired shades: matte greens, desert tans, gunmetal blacks, but there's also a bold chrome and red option for those who want to stand out. It's one of those bikes that turns heads whether you're in the city or carving gravel roads. Under the tank, Royal Enfield has gone for a single-cylinder 450 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled engine, the same platform that's been refined from their Himalayan 450 but tuned for a different personality. On the Flying Flea C6, the motor feels punchy, with a mid-range bias that makes it ideal for mixed riding. You get around 40 horsepower and just under 40 Nm of torque, delivered through a smooth 6-speed gearbox. It's not a blisteringly fast bike, but that's not what it's about. The acceleration feels quick enough to keep things engaging, while the wide torque band ensures you've got pulling power in tricky off-road situations. This bike thrives in that space between commuting convenience and weekend exploration. The suspension setup has been tailored to match this dual-purpose spirit. You've got long travel upside-down forks up front and a monoshock at the rear, tuned to soak up bumps without losing composure on tarmac. The wheel setup is classic scrambler: 19 inches at the front, 17 at the rear, shod with dual-purpose tires that inspire confidence across terrain. Whether you're hopping curbs in the city, leaning through twisties, or tackling dirt tracks, the bike feels balanced and predictable. The braking system uses bi-brake calipers with dual-channel ABS, and Royal Enfield has thoughtfully included an off-road ABS mode, letting you lock the rear wheel when you want that extra control on loose surfaces. Riding the Flying Flea C6 feels like stepping into a time capsule that's been upgraded with 21st century tech. The ergonomics are spot on, with a comfortable upright riding position, wide handlebars for leverage, and foot pegs that aren't too high or low. It's the kind of bike you can spend hours on without feeling cramped, whether you're cruising at 100 km/h on the highway or standing on the pegs while navigating trails. The seat height is manageable at around 820 mm, making it accessible to a broad range of riders, which is a big plus in the segment. On the tech side, Royal Enfield has kept things simple but functional. There's a compact TFT dash that pairs with your smartphone via Bluetooth, giving you turn-by-turn navigation, call and message alerts, and ride stats. The switchgear is intuitive, and while it doesn't overwhelm you with electronics like some rivals, it gives you just enough to feel modern without straying from that minimalist DNA. This balance of analog charm and digital utility is part of the Flying Flea's unique appeal. Now, let us talk about price, because Royal Enfield has always been strong in that department. The 2026 Flying Flea C6 is expected to land at around $6,500 to $7,000 depending on market and spec, which undercuts many European scramblers while offering just as much personality and arguably more heritage. In markets like India and Southeast Asia, it's expected to be even more competitively priced, which will no doubt make it a volume seller. What makes this bike truly stand out, though, is its story. This isn't just a retro-styled scrambler, it's a homage to a machine that carried paratroopers into battle, rebuilt in a way that speaks to freedom, adventure, and resilience. Few bikes manage to weave history and modern riding needs together so effectively. The Flying Flea C6 is light enough to feel playful, capable enough to handle dirt, stylish enough to park proudly at a cafe, and affordable enough for everyday riders. That's a rare combination, and it's what makes this bike more than just another addition to the Royal Enfield lineup. So who's this bike for? Honestly, it sits in a sweet spot that appeals to a wide audience. New riders will appreciate its accessibility and price. Commuters will enjoy its comfort and efficiency. Weekend adventurers will love its scrambler capability. And enthusiasts who care about history will see it as a tribute to an icon. In short, the Flying Flea C6 isn't trying to be a race bike or a luxury tourer, it's trying to be your everyday fun machine, and in that mission, it absolutely succeeds. As we wrap up, the 2026 Royal Enfield Flying Flea C6 feels like more than a motorcycle, it feels like a statement. It tells the world that simplicity and authenticity still matter in a sea of overcomplicated machines. It proves that a brand with heritage can still innovate without losing its soul. And most importantly, it reminds us that motorcycles are meant to be ridden, explored, and enjoyed, not just admired from afar. That's our deep dive into the Flying Flea C6. If you're as intrigued by this bike as we are, keep an eye out for its arrival in showrooms this year. Here at WWII, we'll be getting our hands on one for a proper ride review very soon, so stay tuned. Until then, ride safe, ride free, and we'll catch you in the next one.